facing basically a death sentence with time right now.
With a prognosis of just a few months, David Dennis is fighting for his life. But he's also embarked in another major fight, one to shake up a BC-wide transplant policy.
We'd like people to realize how inhumane it is, how outdated it is, how antiquated the process is.
The father of 5 has end-stage liver disease, but due to his alcohol abuse, he's been kicked off the waiting list for liver transplant. It's why this formal complaint has now been filed at the BC Human Rights Tribunal. In it, the complainants, including David Dennis and the Union of BC Indian Chiefs, argue the policy to stay sober for 6 months to qualify for a liver transplant discriminates against Indigenous peoples who have disproportionately higher rates of alcoholism. They say in large part that's the result of centuries of oppression and trauma.
History was described as nothing less than cultural genocide. I think the 6-month policy as it applies to Indigenous people needs reconsideration through that lens.
The complaint also states the abstinence policy directly discriminates against people with disabilities, specifically alcohol disorders. Dennis says he's tried several rehab programs over the years, but has struggled to stay away from a substance that has been in his life since he was a child.
I always remember that drinking was a huge part of our socialization as families.
BC Transplant was asked for comment on this complaint, but did not get back in time for broadcast.
It's an incredibly urgent situation we're faced with. So I'm hoping there can be some consideration for his circumstances. And on the longer term, we can look at reform.
While Dennis knows he may not live long enough to hear the tribunal's response, he's hopeful his fight may help others.
Really hope for human compassion.
In Vancouver, Isabel Regem, City News.